Sega. Some men live and die in the shade of their olive trees. A lifetime of peace and simplicity. This book is the record of a man who wanted more. A man who wanted everything. His name was Napoleon Bonaparte. Soldier, general, emperor. Yet, all things have a beginning. There was a time when Napoleon was just a boy. A boy from Corsica. Ambition. Instilled in the mind of a child, it becomes a powerful force. From an early age, Napoleon was taught that ambition can make a man great. His father had done everything in his power to secure a place for his young son in a school on the mainland, far from Corsica and the confines of island life. Welcome to Corsica. You're about to learn how to build an empire through conquest and diplomacy, establish vast and profitable trade routes, research new and exciting technologies, and advance Napoleon's military power on both land and sea. Fame and glory await. Let's start by getting comfortable with the camera controls. To move the camera around the map, simply press and hold the middle mouse button while moving the mouse in any direction. You can also zoom in and out of the campaign map by rolling the middle mouse button back and forth. Let's select your general, Napoleon Bonaparte.
À vos ordres.
Napoleon has a set number of movement points that can be used in each turn of the game. The distance he can move is shown by the large colored area around him on the map. Each time Napoleon moves, this area becomes smaller until his movement points for the turn are exhausted. Also, within the character's movement area is a slightly smaller area in a different color. This is the zone of control. An enemy army or navy that enters the zone during the turn can be attacked. Try moving Napoleon to the port of Bastia on the northeast coast of Corsica. Select Napoleon and then right-click on the map. Towns, ports and cities form the backbone of your nation. Double left-click on one of them to open its information panel. This will show exactly what it does. This panel contains information about your city, including its public order levels, wealth, and current population number. Clicking on the tick icon will close this panel. Once you have finished everything you want to do during this turn, as Napoleon prepared to leave his island home, he must have been nervous. He was a boy leaving his family behind for a life in a strange new place. If only he had known that he was starting out on a path that would change the face of Europe forever. A ship has arrived to take Napoleon to the French mainland. Select Napoleon and then right-click on the ship to board it. Notice that the ship automatically moves towards Napoleon. And if he has enough movement points left in this turn, he will board the ship. Having boarded the ship, you now need to select a destination. As your course has now been set, you need to end turn before you leave. Having set your ship's course in the previous turn, select the end turn button so that it automatically carries out your order. Alternatively, if you wish to change... With his father, Napoleon traveled to mainland France to begin his schooling. From the moment he saw his new home, Napoleon fell in love. The beautiful countryside and cities must have been impressive to a boy from a small island. Perhaps he dared to dream that one day he would own all that beauty. With the camera now on Switzerland, quickly move back to Napoleon using the radar map at the bottom left of the screen. Simply left-click on the area of the map within the radar panel that you wish to view. The camera will then move there. Try using this method to change the view to Napoleon. Then select him and make your way to the Swiss border.
Monsieur, vos ordres? Préparez-vous! Marchez! Votre humble serviteur.
Message boxes will appear during most turns on the left-hand side of the screen. You are about to enter another faction's territory. To see what your diplomatic relations are, the diplomacy panel allows you. Switzerland is currently allied with France, and you have military access to their land.
Prêt!
As it is a rich and wealthy nation, you should seek a trade agreement to increase France's wealth. Select the Request Trade Agreement option from the left-hand side of the screen. With a trade agreement, France receives additional wealth each turn for as long as the agreement is in effect. Your wealth can be viewed at the bottom of the screen. A victim of bullying, Napoleon held his head high. Other children may have drawn in upon themselves. He had the fierce pride of his father, and when asked to kneel before a schoolmaster, he calmly replied that a man bows only before God. This maxim would follow him into his adult years. Make your way to Reims with Napoleon.
Marchez!
As you have chosen to move Napoleon to a destination outside of his movement area, additional arrows have been drawn on the map to display the number of turns required to reach the destination. Each arrow represents one turn. Press the space bar to speed up movement and land and sea. Both units and turn times will now accelerate. Press the space bar again to return to the default speed.
À vos ordres! En avant! Pour la couronne et le pays!
To construct a college, select the town of Brienne. Then each building takes a certain number of turns to construct. This number is displayed on the building's icon. To review information relating to your current mission, the Objectives panel displays your active mission, as well as do not forget to click the End turn. Traveling between regions, the construction of the Research and Technology panel shows military, administrative and industrial technology tree. Do not forget to click the End Turn button. Gentlemen such as this can be used in a variety of different ways. Dueling, stealing technology from other nations, and speeding up your own technology research time. Let's use this gentleman to help with research at the nearby college. To do this, select the gentleman, then your gentleman is now inside the college. And you will notice on the tech tree that researching your new technology. Do not forget to click the End Turn button. Each time a technology is successfully researched, you will be presented with this message panel. Here, you will see information about the technologies that have been researched. You will also see which new technologies will be automatically researched. Napoleon went to study at the École Militaire, a renowned military school that prepared him for his military career. He studied the lives of great military leaders, paying particular attention to Alexander's campaigns. He dreamed of emulating his heroes, something that few can turn into reality. But this was not the case for Napoleon. Make your way to Paris with Napoleon. Napoleon is garrisoned within Reims. To exit, simply right-click on an area of land away from the city. To build a cannon foundry, select Paris and then the Construction tab on the Review panel. Do not forget to click the End Turn button once you have finished everything you need to. During this campaign, Napoleon has gained various personality traits. Traits can be both positive and negative, and they are acquired as your generals do things and go places. You will find the Building Browser button useful now that you have a large number of buildings. The Building Browser shows the types and locations of your buildings. Click on any of the buildings to see how it can be upgraded. To recruit a unit, select. Now, select to view information about a specific. The Revolution. A time of upheaval and a shining opportunity for Napoleon. Social position counted for nothing. Ambition would take a man anywhere, and Napoleon had it in abundance. Opportunity was coupled with hardship. Napoleon lost his father, but now he had a destiny to create. Make your way to Dijon with Napoleon.
Marchez! Votre humble serviteur.
To start building the musket manufactory, remember to select. Workers are on strike in Paris. Ignore them for the time being. The people are notorious for kicking up a fuss and will go back to work soon enough. To increase your nation's wealth, upgrade your towns and farms throughout France. Do not forget to click the End Turn button once you have finished everything you need to do this turn. Do not forget to click the End Turn button once you have finished everything you need to do this turn. Paris is now rioting. Pressing the home key will focus the camera on your capital. You must stop the riot before the situation turns into a full-blown rebellion.
Citoyens, marchez!
Now, click on the Government button. The Government panel contains information about the current status of the nation. It also gives you the opportunity to change your government ministers and national taxes. To set the tax levels for the upper, you will now notice that the map of Europe will start to change in color depending on the taxes rate you have. Another way to improve the happiness of a city's people is to construct buildings such as opera houses or museums. You may wish to add one of these buildings in Paris. Garrisoning units within a rioting city will also help stop the unrest. Recruit a unit of dragoons
Votre humble
to help,
serviteur.
as they have a greater policing bonus.
Marchez! Hommes, en avant! Prêt! En avant! Pour la couronne et le pays! Hommes, en avant!
Garrisoning units within. Do not forget to click the End Turn button once you have finished everything you need to do this turn.
Troupes, en avant! En avant! Marchez! En avant! Marchez!
This panel gives you important information. Do not forget to click the End Turn button once you... Some men live a simple life, while others have a fire that threatens to engulf the world. I do not know when the fire in Napoleon first burned. Perhaps he had always had a destiny, but sometimes destiny can use a little help or even a revolution. The old ways were drowned in a tide of blood. A man could be whatever he wanted if he could weather the storm. In 1796, Napoleon was sent to command the army of Italy. We knew that Austria would fight in Germany. We knew the Italian campaign had become pointless. Napoleon thought differently. That was his talent. I will lead you through the most fertile plains in the world. You will find there honor, glory, and riches, he told us. The soldiers listened, but they didn't believe. They had long been without hope, without glory.
It is a crucial time in the war between France and the coalition. With the majority of French forces engaging Austria in the Rhineland, you've been placed in command of the destitute Armée d'Italie near the French-Italian border. Faced with impending invasion from Austrian forces stationed in Italy, it is vital that you address your army's dire situation and secure a foothold in the region before setting your sights on Austria itself. Capture Klagenfurt, and your forces will have a clear path to Vienna. The stronghold of Mantua may prove to be a challenging obstacle, although its seizure is vital if you hope to weaken the Austrian position in Italy. You will also face resistance from Austria's coalition ally, the Kingdom of Piedmont, Sardinia. Subjugating this nation, along with any other Italian states that stand in your way, will ensure you sufficient resources to crush the Austrians and overthrow the coalition once and for all.
Prêt à recevoir vos ordres? Prêt! Monsieur, vos ordres? Tenez-vous prêts? Nous gagnerons!
Winning a battle isn't just about greater numbers. The
Generals deploy their forces according to rank. Extremes of heat or cold will give a fatigue penalty to units not used to living and fighting in such conditions. Some units are naturally resistant to this penalty. When targeting men with artillery, pick out the enemy's best units. They die just as easily as the rebels. Maintaining a unit's courage and regimental discipline, the run button on the left of the battle control panel is used to toggle the selected units between running or walking. Running is useful for going somewhere in a hurry, but doing it too much will tire the men out.
État-major des généraux, monsieur. Ordre bien reçu.
Infanterie, au rapport.
Canon de 6 livres, paré.
If your line infantry are about to be charged by cavalry, make sure they are stationary, and preferably in a square. That way they can brace themselves against the impact and will take fewer losses.
Sir! Sir! Our general is under attack!
État-major des généraux, monsieur.
We have killed their general, sir! Now they must break!
Batterie zu Befehl.
It is important to preserve the devastating impact a cavalry unit can have. When going into combat with cavalry, always charge the last few yards by double right-clicking on the target.
Your army has
Victoire!
suffered
C'est à nous!
casualties and will require fresh recruits to replenish troops. All armies and fleets have a zone of control, represented by this. Periodically, your government will issue missions for you to undertake. Your region capital. It is possible to swap between building. Upgrading the road system within a region will increase its trade capability. In order to gain control of a garrison, planning your construction needs is essential to a successful. The order in which reinforcements take to the battlefield can be determined by left-clicking and dragging, the unit on the far left being the first to take the field.
Courez! Votre humble serviteur. Posons le camp.
A drop-in battle is a new feature allowing you to find a human opponent to take the place of the AI. When attacking a fort or city, it is possible to take a fort or city without risking a pitched battle. The order
Commencez
in
le
which
siège!
reinforcements take to the battlefield can be
Village
determined by
assiégé!
left-clicking and dragging,
Prêt!
the unit on the far left being the first to take the field.
Village assiégé! Grave! Invaincu! Prêt! Oui, monsieur. Collecte de ravitaillement.
This tab shows all units available for recruitment in the selected town, city, port. There are two ways to move an army or agent from a settlement or provincial slot onto the landscape. Troops can be stationed inside a city to provide defense in the event of an attack. Whilst there, they also act as a deterrent for any rebellious tendencies among the population. In Napoleon Total War, a turn is a 2-week period in order to simulate the intense fighting of the various campaigns.
Oui. Préparez-vous pour la bataille. Bataillon prêt. Prêt à recevoir vos ordres? Oui. Courez! Monsieur, vos ordres? Je ne peux pas faire cela, monsieur. En avant! Pour la couronne et le pays!
When enlisting a new general or admiral, you'll be offered a choice of candidates, giving you the
Monsieur,
option to
vos ordres?
choose the commander who is... An ungarrisoned city automatically generates armed citizenry, a sort of watch to keep order,
Tenez-vous prêts!
although not as effective. Every army, fleet, or agent can reveal information about rival armies, navies, and settlements in their immediate proximity.
Ligne de bataille!
The level of detail available depends on the type of character who is spying, so dedicated espionage agents perform better than generals in this capacity.
Assiégez-les! Victoire! Monsieur? Prêt? Votre humble serviteur. D'autres ordres?
This piece... It's possible to cycle back through the advice that's already been displayed by use of the back button on the advisor HUD.
Hurrah! Hurrah! Préparez les troupes pour la bataille! Monsieur! Commencez le siège! Glorieuse victoire!
Do not concentrate the construction of military buildings within a single region. Spread out to ensure the availability of troops during an invasion.
Marchez! Monsieur? À vos ordres! À gauche, votre humble serviteur. Monsieur! Prêt! Tenez-vous prêts! Votre humble serviteur. Homme, en avant!
trade post is the means by which nations within the European theatre trade with the rest of the world who do not appear in the game. In order to begin trade, build a trade ship, sail to a trade post, and right-click on the anchor icon.
Prêt à recevoir vos ordres? En avant! Marchez, monsieur! Prêt à recevoir vos ordres?
By choosing the right mix of units, some commanders are able to field highly mobile armies. Such forces right-click to move your army to any part of the highlighted area. Attack by right attrition is the loss of troops from a unit due to desertion, disease, etc. A unit will suffer attrition if it ends its turn in the field during the winter months or in desert conditions. Armies native to regions in the far north or in deserts are in...
Retirez-vous! Construction du campement!
Units can now be recruited directly by a general in the field. Select the recruitment tab, then left-click on a unit to add it to the queue, and again to remove it. When ready, units will walk to the appropriate general and merge with his army. Note that units can only walk directly to the general. They are not able to cross the sea to join him.
Préparez-vous pour la guerre!
Funds are deducted from your treasury at the beginning of each turn to pay for the supplies and wages of your troops in the field. When defending your territory, it's important to know how far enemy armies are able to move. Battle statistics is an alternative to a straightforward occupation. Upon capture of a settlement, there is also an option to loot it as well. Doing so will add a lump sum to your treasury. The construction of colleges and universities enables the research of new technologies and ideas that could keep your nation ahead of its rivals. As well as producing gentlemen or scholars for research, these buildings also have the residual effect of educating the masses. However, this might be a bad thing if not carefully managed. People with ideas above their stations can cause unrest
Avancez le siège!
or worse.
Hurrah! Hurrah! Prêt! Sonnez les retraites! Collecte de ravitaillement! Désastre!
With the advent of colonial possessions on resource-laden faraway continents, sea-based trade is of great importance. Making a trade agreement as a unit fights and survives battles, it gains experience points that improve its ability to deal with future combat situations. Experience increases morale, so an experienced unit is less likely to break as an alternative to a straightforward occupation. Upon capture of a settlement, there is also an option to occupying a port with an army prevents the enemy from trading through it and producing new ships.
Comme rat en
Note that
cage!
a port cannot be besieged. You
pavillon!
simply right-click on the target port and your army will walk straight in. If an enemy army is garrisoned there, you will have to fight them immediately.
It was an age of exploration, of conquest everywhere. Frenchmen traveled the world, teaching, learning, trading. Always the British were a threat. Their merchants took the best. Their ships strangled our trade. As Britain grew wealthy, France suffered. In the heat of summer, Napoleon landed in Egypt. Now, the East and its wealth would be ours. Egypt. Here, the sands whisper stories of ancient victories and glories. Here, Napoleon felt the history of 40 centuries upon his shoulders. What I have done up to now is nothing, he said. But the desert is harsh, unforgiving. Bravery alone will not keep a man alive.
After taking Alexandria from the Mamelukes, France must focus immediate attention on the Mameluke leader, Murad Bey, who will rally his troops at Cairo. Killing him is essential to victory in Egypt. It's very likely that the Ottoman Empire will soon march its armies south into their Egyptian territory. The forts of Arish, Jaffa, and Accra are the main strongholds along their route, so to successfully stall their advance, you must capture each of them. Whilst the Ottoman military presence is not particularly strong in the Levant, be on your guard, as the High Porte will surely send reinforcements from Anatolia and Greece. These elite troops are trained in the European style of warfare and are known as the Nizam-i-Sedit. To make matters worse, the British have sent one of their most capable admirals, Horatio Nelson, to the eastern Mediterranean to block your escape routes. No French supplies or reinforcements can arrive while the British naval base on Cyprus is active. And remember that your enemies can not only attack you by land, but also by sea. Make sure all your newly acquired towns and cities are well defended so that there are no nasty surprises to check French progress in the region.
Votre humble serviteur. Oui? Hommes, en avant! À vos ordres.
Intellectual centers are the engines of learning in any nation. They allow the construction of colleges and universities for the gifted to study and advance the sum total of knowledge for the benefit of all. Cairo has one such center. Capture this region so that you may exploit its educational infrastructure for the good of the Republic. Vive la France!
Préparez les troupes pour la bataille! Monsieur! Comme rat en cage!
The radar map now features pressing the space bar on your keyboard after orders have been issued displays the positions your units will move to as a shadow on the battlefield. Use this as a reference when deploying your forces.
Lancez des ordres! État-major des généraux, à vos ordres! Ordre bien reçu!
de 6 livres paraît à tirer.
La cavalerie attend les ordres, monsieur. Infanterie, au rapport. La milice attend les ordres. Lancez des ordres. À vos ordres. Grenadiers, à vos ordres. Lancez quand vous êtes prêts. La Légion Lombarde est prête. Infanterie, au rapport. Fantassin léger.
There is often an advantage in ordering your infantry to countercharge an attacking formation. The trick is to leave it until the last moment, so your own lines are not broken.
Lancez des ordres. Retirez-vous. La Légion Lombarde est prête, monsieur. Oui, monsieur. Grenadiers, à vos ordres. Monsieur. Infanterie! Attention à l'artillerie! Maintenez vos positions! Infanterie! Au rapport! Milice! Lancez des ordres! Infanterie! Apportez de Infanterie de ligne! Infanterie! Au rapport! Lancez des ordres!
État-major des généraux!
Infanterie de ligne!
État-major des généraux, monsieur! Attaquez!
Cavalerie attend les ordres, monsieur! Feu! Monsieur? Oui, monsieur! Infanterie!
État-major des généraux, monsieur!
Infanterie de ligne! Retirez-vous! La cavalerie attend les ordres, monsieur! Oui, monsieur!
Lancez des ordres!
Infanterie légère à vos ordres, monsieur. Infanterie! Au rapport! Père imbécile! Infanterie! Au rapport! Monsieur?
The flashing unit banner means the morale of their troops is wavering.
Lancez des ordres!
Before long, they'll break from combat and rout from the field. Take this opportunity to charge their ranks with cavalry or infantry with bayonets fixed. The battle is over when all troops in an army are routed or killed.
Oui, monsieur! Lancez des ordres! Infanterie légère à vos ordres, monsieur. Infanterie! Au rapport! Oui, monsieur!
Pardon, rapport! État-major des généraux! Ordre bien reçu!
Oui, monsieur. Infanterie, au rapport, lancez des ordres. Feu! Dirigez!
État-major des généraux!
Oui, monsieur. Fantassin léger. La cavalerie est dans les ordres, monsieur. Milice! Compagnie en ligne, préparez-vous. La cavalerie attend les ordres, monsieur. La cavalerie attend les ordres, monsieur.
État-major des généraux, à vos ordres!
Lancez des ordres. Tout de suite.
Sir! Sir! Our general is under attack!
Glorieuse victoire!
The construction of industrial centers will steer your empire from subsistence to wealth and affluence for many. However, industrialization comes at a price. The lower orders may become unhappy with the pace of change. Buildings that have been damaged due to sabotage or during battle can be rebuilt. To repair a building, select it and click on the There has been an eruption of national pride in your home region following your victories on the field of battle. Every time a battle is won or a territory conquered, the populace become more fervent in their support of the war. This is indicated by increased happiness.
Comme rat en cage.